anything on there? Is it going?
Maybe.
You're such a dick. There's this post that I'm trying to write, and I've gotten kind of lost in it, and just now, this conversation that I had with Pinu on the corner of the ring at the end of training, like, revealed to me...
There's a microphone.
Revealed to me what I was trying to get to with this post. But so, we're talking about Angie, because Angie is retiring, basically. And she has only been fighting for like 2 years. She's only been training for like 3 years. It's incredibly short, like, contracted fight career.
As an older, she started when she was after 30.
She started at 30.
Yeah.
Which for a Thai is really old, but anywhere in the world is kind of considered
And she's
old.
a trans fighter. Yeah.
Trans fighter. She, within her 2 years of fighting, really within 1 year of fighting, because she fought her first Lumpini fight maybe 8 months ago or something, she became the first trans in the sense of having already taken hormones and having some surgery and all this stuff to fight at Lumpini, which is a very conservative, male-only stadium where women are not even allowed to touch the ring. So, not the same as letting women fight in Lumpini, but a huge change all at once. This kind of came about because there was Nong Rose, who does not take hormones, has no surgeries, is a very experienced fighter. She's been fighting since she was a kid, but she identifies as a woman, I think. And she started fighting at Rajadamnern, so there was like this wave of interest, and they grabbed Angie, who's very unique and has very superstar quality, and they had her fight at Lumpini, and so she's kind of riding this wave, and so I'm talking to Pinu because she's maybe having her last fight, which got canceled, so maybe already had her last fight. Like, she's done. She doesn't want to fight anymore. And so we're talking about how rare and unusual of an opportunity it is to become a superstar in 2 years of your career. He's like, incredibly good fighters who have been fighting for years and years don't get on the cover of Muay Siam, which Angie just was yesterday, to promote this fight that was coming up next week. And so we're talking about seizing opportunity and taking things where they are, and for me it's like a political thing, like making changes for other people by taking these opportunities, and for Pinu it's like, you have to seize these opportunities while they're there because he knows how rare it is and all these things. So we're talking about Angie and her superstardom and kind of what those opportunities mean, but also like where her desire to retire maybe came from. So Pinu is this incredibly generous man who, prior to me getting there, and certainly prior to Angie getting there, would never have had like a superstar Katoi trans fighter, but she changed him just by who she is. I've changed him by the way that I work as a female fighter. It's not a female opposing gym, but it's a very traditional gym, so it kind of like goes with these grooves of how you see women and trans fighters and stuff, and he makes room for that. He's an incredibly generous man. In that, his specialty is raising Thai boys to be Lumpini fighters. So he's done this, like, for years, over and over again. He has these kids who come up through his process, and then they turn 16 and are interested in motorbikes and girls and disappear, or since I've been here, a couple of them have basically, in very, like, snaky ways, been sold out from under Pinu or extracted from the gym in very nasty, snaky, money-grubbing ways, and Pinu, almost to a fault, is not interested in money. The reason I say to a fault is that that's why you become a superstar Muay Thai fighter, is to earn money, and because he's not focused on that, those opportunities that are elsewhere, once you've created someone who could be a champion, the parents then want to, like, snatch their kids out and give them these, like, sell them to these bigger opportunities, and it's a stab in the heart to the loyalty of the man who was very patient in raising these kids up. So I was asking him, because he was talking about how sometimes superstardom changes your heart. He's like, Angie became a superstar in 2 years. She's a good person. She's like, sometimes you become a star and it changes you, and you're not good. And he's talking about some very painful extractions from his gym. And so I'm asking him, why do you keep the pictures up? He has pictures of these people who have really betrayed him around the gym because they grew up with him.
Giant pictures,
Some of them very big pictures, very prominent pictures in the gym. I'm like, why do you keep these up? And he said, because I'm not the only one who made anybody. Like, the gym made people. He's like, you look at these pictures, on one, he's like, I keep this up because it's got the King's Cup on it. Like, that's an incredible moment to win the King's Cup. That's honorific. And then the one that's even bigger, I'm like, what about this one? He's like, there are people who helped that come to be. He's like, I'm not the only one. And starts listing off people who helped this thing occur. And he's like, that's not sour. Like, that experience and that process of working to make someone a star, not the, like, grab this opportunity because it's there, but the slow fucking building of someone, he's still proud of. Like, it's still, the process towards that is still this thing. And he's told me many times that there's this phrase in Thai that it's the ox for getting its legs, which is basically anywhere around the world someone who, like, comes up with all the people who help them, and then they're like, fuck all these people, I've got my entourage when they become a superstar. It happens everywhere. Here they call it an ox for getting its legs. And he's like, I don't forget the process of growing these people up. So, this is what made me, like, realize what I was trying to write in this post that I've had a really hard time bringing together, which is that I know people who say, I've done it all myself, I do it all myself, everyone else has help and I do it myself. And I'm like, you fucking hold pads for yourself? In Thailand, the kids, men, it's not just kids, the fighters will literally Y to the bag and to the ring for helping them get ready. These are inanimate objects, and they're like, thank you for helping me, to a bag.
There might be a sense of spirit.
There is, especially in the ring, a sense of spirit. But you're still thanking the spirits for helping you get ready. You are not fucking alone. Like, we have this whole, I got to the gym and I was the only one, and I'm such a badass for pounding out 10 rounds on the bag by myself. And Thais are like, I wasn't by myself. I was hitting the bag. Like, those are very different processes. So, what this made me think of, and I'm trying to write this blog post about the Nora character in Noragami, which is this anime about a, like, rogue god. And he's got the Nora, which is his, like, divine weapon. And she's got names all over her.
It's a weapon, but also a person.
It's also,
like a
it's a person that becomes a weapon. It's very, like, cool.
Anime, yeah.
But basically you give a name to your divine weapon. And then when you call the name, it's, like, connected to you. It's, like, loyal to you.
Bonds.
Yeah, they're very bonded.
Yeah.
But the thing about Nora, and the word Nora means, like, stray, she's got names all over her, which means she's not only connected to one, she's been connected to many. And it totally has that tainted, slutty, like, non-loyal thing, but she's incredible, and she is incredibly loyal to who's calling her name, and all of these things, and it's beautiful. So I'm trying to write this blog post because a couple years ago, I've been known for quite a while in Thai circles for, like, going around and training with these different legends because people didn't know exactly what I was doing. I'm doing it for my documentary library project. Thais don't know I'm doing that. They're starting to understand I'm doing that now. But there was this Thai language post of me, and someone very cuttingly, it was not meant as a compliment, and I did not take it as a compliment, wrote, Sylvie of 100 crews, which is this, like, she's disloyal, she goes around to all these different crews, basically Nora with all her different names all over her. In the years since that post, that stopped being an insult among the people who are watching and writing in Thai as well. They're like, oh shit, among those 100 crews are Dieselnoy, Saga, Karahat, like, the legends of Muay Thai. I'm not embarrassed to have all of those names associated with teaching me. But I also do not want my crew, like, I do not want Crew New to think that I'm, like, not loyal to him just because there's this mosaic of influences in what I do. So I'm trying to write this post being like, it's not a fucking insult to have 100 crews when they're, like, incredible people. I am loyal and honoring all of them. It just means I have more responsibility to more people rather than that I'm, like, disloyal to all of these other people. And what Crew New said today that made me, like, understand this entire connection of how I'm going to write this blog post now, and these people who helped build these stars, and so that work is still meaningful to the space of the gym. You still built the house, it doesn't matter who's selling it or whatever, is that I'm a rogue fighter. I go around Thailand without my corner. I go and I ask someone to help me. Like, the point of that story, the point of me saying that I go around Thailand alone and ask people to help me, absolutely does not mean I do this by myself. It means literally the opposite of that. I rely on so many people, more people, than someone who takes their gym with them. It means that my responsibility and number of people that I owe gratitude towards is larger rather than I do this by myself. I don't do fucking anything by myself. Literally nothing do I do by myself because I rely on these connections and bonds to so many people. And that to me, like filled my heart when I was talking to Crew New in this way that he was like, I don't take these posters down because there are people responsible for the whole process. And I was like, that's it. That's the fucking thing. So that's me crying about it, and then I'll go write the post and publish it somewhere.